And welcome back, everyone, to the week who would win. This one comes from Quinn Perez, who asked the question, who in a fight? The strongest creature on Earth, Yujiro Hanma, versus Darth Vader. Okay, I will say this about the fight. Before anyone goes like it's so much of a slap, either or, there is an avenue for the person who loses here to win. But it comes at a big cost. Yujiro Hanma is the father of the main character, Baki, from Baki the Grappler. They just finished the anime version of the greatest father-son fight ever, which that's just an awesome arc. That really is. And we're going to the Musashi arc, which is probably my favorite arc out of the series, because the character Musashi is one of the best side characters in Baki ever. But he is noted as the strongest creature on the planet, not strongest man, strongest creature, as there is nothing and no one who has been able to actually beat him in a fight. Baki technically beat him, but it was through shenanigans, pretty much. He can literally kill monster animals far greater than normal size. Giant elephants, bears, tigers, sharks. Whether or not he can beat a dinosaur is up for debate. He's never actually truly fought Pickles, so whether or not he could beat Pickles is up for debate too, because Baki's never actually beaten Pickles. And it's still left up for the air whether or not Musashi would have actually been able to kill Yujiro. I will say this, I still think Yujiro probably would have beaten Musashi in the fight. But he is a renowned fighter. He is a martial artist, but he will use dirty tag. He'll go for the crotch kick. He will just do whatever he can in terms of style for fighting. It's more like he has a freestyle form of fighting versus an actual martial arts style, but he knows multiple martial arts, can copy him on the fly. He just prefers not to use other people's martial arts. He is durable enough to literally to walk through laminated glass and shatter it, which is actually no small feat. He can take the blade of Musashi, who is a master swordsman capable of cutting through multiple men and swords and weaponry and solid objects with no difficulty, and it barely went into his skin. Like, it still hurt him, but it barely hurt him. He can take massive amounts of punishment from highly powerful individuals capable of cracking through walls, breaking cars, lifting them, and he can take and match that strength and take damage from them. Strong enough to, okay, well, did he actually stop the earthquake? That's the question. It's very possible he just timed the damn strike to when the earthquake would end. But the implications is he stopped an earthquake. Even so, he's able to just obliterate insects with just a flick of his finger. He's able to literally kind of just destroy anyone just by casually punching them. At his full strength, he's literally capable of doing like a Hulk clap, or emitting an aura that just completely overwhelms lesser beings. Capable of smashing cars easy, capable of surviving falls from story buildings. Like, I don't know how many stories they were actually falling in that fight, but in the most recent one. But it was a lot, and he was perfectly fine. His bones are durable enough to take as much damage as you can theoretically give out. It's unknown how he really handles gunfire, but it's to be assumed that things like small caliber fire, as we've seen with like Pickle, who just tanked it barely went to his skin, he could probably tank small caliber fire without any difficulty. It'd be high caliber weaponry he'd have to do something against. He's grabbed an arrow before it was even launched by a master bowman. He closed the distance. He can literally move so fast you don't even perceive his movements. His intimidation factor is immense. The Demon Back allegedly heals all of his general fatigue and wounds when he activates it. It increases his abilities well beyond the average. He is truly and at most a monster among men. Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, we know his story. He was supposed to be the chosen one, went to the dark side, became Darth Vader, was one of the most feared Sith Lords, and there's the dog's butt. There's the dog's butt. It's the dog's butt. It's your butt. Your butt is on camera. Yes, your butt was on camera. Hi. And so, yeah, he is a master of the Force, capable of, and one of his most powerful abilities is telekinesis. But he's also capable of using to diminish, which is an energy absorption technique, which could be used to even absorb lightsaber energy. Speaking of which, he's a master duelist, wielding a lightsaber made of pure plasma, which can cut through near anything. There are things that lightsabers can't cut through. He's enhanced by his cybernetics, can enhance himself with the Force. He is immune to mind tricks, thanks to the Jedi mind trick, or thanks to, well, he's not immune to it, but he does have resistance if he's aware of it. But beyond that, he capable of he is capable of a little bit of force healing because he's on the dark side. That's not really a dark side ability. He can't do force lightning on his own because of his cybernetics, but he can do something where he basically gathers like the kinetic energy of the air and is similar to force lightning. Kinetite, I think it is. He can survive massive amounts of punishments, temporarily survive in the vacuum of space, survived on a planetoid being destroyed. He has survived multiple assassination attempts from multiple mercenaries, survived going total many Jedi, master duelist, and is overall and I'm glossing over it, but there's a reason for it. So in a fight between these guys, who wins? I think the answer is kind of obvious, and it would be Darth Vader. Darth Vader, well, physically not as powerful, even with the cybernetics, not as powerful as Yujiro is. Yujiro is far more physically powerful than Vader is. Vader makes up for it, but with the ability to literally, he literally could just float Yujiro Hanma in the air and just, now maybe Yujiro comes back and just, maybe he just tries to force choke him. The force choking, I actually don't think would work. His muscles are so thick and he's just so powerful that I actually don't think he could force choke him. It's like, oh, is that what you're doing, Gigi? Old man. So, well then, let's play. And yeah, if Yujiro, as durable as he is, cannot survive hot plasma, at least as far as we know. To date, he has not been shown to survive anything like a lightsaber hitting him. Lightsaber would cut him in half, slice off a limb, skewer him. That's it. So you had just telekinesis alone, and you had the lightsaber. Yujiro can't beat Vader. Vader's reaction speed is on a light speed-esque level. Now, as I said earlier, there is an avenue for Yujiro to win because he is the physically superior of these two. If for some reason Vader were to lose his lightsaber, and maybe even like Yujiro gets it and just crushes it in his hand, which I would imagine is fully in his capability of doing. Lightsabers, as well built as they are not strong enough to survive anything. We've seen them destroyed multiple times. I think he's strong enough to crush a lightsaber in his hand. But if he were to get in close range and start throwing out everything he wanted to on Vader, and Vader was unable to keep him at bay, yeah, he still had telekinesis, but the telekinesis could only do so much. Even if, like, say, throws a boulder, Yujiro probably is strong enough to catch the boulder, and most likely, what I would imagine he'd use the momentum of the boulder, move it around, and just throw it back at Vader, who would stop it, grab it, only for Yujiro to get in, and then start getting in close. And then start wailing on him, and making sure to hit things like his chest plating, which would mean he'd have to use the Force to sustain him, which would weaken his overall ability to use the Force. And at that point, Yujiro is just going to town on him. And while he is physically stronger than the average man, he is not Yujiro Hanma strong. Yujiro Hanma is well beyond peak human, like way beyond peak human. Vader's only kind of around peak human with his cybernetics, maybe a little bit above. But the question would just be then, how the hell does Yujiro get the lightsaber out of his hand to begin with, and then manage to grab it, and then manage to destroy it before Vader just yoinks it back? That's the only problem I have with this scenario, is that if he could do that, and it'd be a guaranteed thing he could do, or a majority thing he could do, I'd actually be more inclined to give the fight to Yujiro. But, no. But just that telekinesis and lightsaber alone puts Vader way ahead of Yujiro, because that shit doesn't exist in the Baki world. Things like telekinesis, there is a level of mysticism in the Baki world, as I mentioned with the Musashi arc. That's how they are able to bring Musashi back into the modern era. But there is not a lot of, there's nothing like telekinesis or anything like that. So Yujiro would sadly lose this fight. And I love Yujiro as a character. He's that bastard you love to watch. And he is a bastard, but he's an awesome character too, let's be honest. But, yeah, so I'd go Vader. That's my take. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.